Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Pulse. Today, I want to talk about something very important. We will talk about how to study English alone. Many people want to learn English, but they think they need a teacher all the time. Some people think they need an English class. Others think they need friends who can speak English with them. But the truth is that you can study English alone. You can make progress at home. You can learn with a book, your phone, a notebook, your voice, and your daily practice. Maybe you are learning English alone right now. Maybe you do not have a teacher. Maybe you do not have anyone around you who speaks English. You may sometimes feel sad because of this. You may think, how can I learn if I am alone? But do not worry. Being alone does not mean you cannot learn. In fact, when you learn alone, you can build a very strong habit. You can study at your own speed. You can choose what you want to learn. You can repeat the same lesson many times. You can make mistakes without feeling afraid. First, let me tell you a story. There was a young man named Ali. English very much. He lived in a small place, and there was no English school near his home. He did not have an English teacher. His friends did not speak English. At first, Ali thought that learning English was impossible for him. Every day, he saw English words online, in movies, and in books, but he did not know how to study. One day, Ali made a simple decision. He said, I may be alone, but I can still start. The next morning, he found an easy English story and read it for 10 minutes. He did not understand every word. Sometimes he stopped. Sometimes he read the same sentence again, but he continued. Then he wrote 5 new words in a small notebook. The next day, Ali listened to a short English story. He listened once. Then he listened again. After that, he repeated some sentences. His English was not perfect. His pronunciation was not perfect either. But he did not stop. Every day, he did something small. After a few weeks, Ali noticed a change. He knew more words. He could understand more sentences. He could read simple stories more easily. Most importantly, he was no longer waiting for someone to teach him. He was teaching himself. He had discovered something important. Small daily practice can become a big change. This is the first lesson for you. You do not need to wait for the perfect time. You do not need to wait for the perfect teacher. You do not need to wait until you have a friend who speaks English. You can begin today. When you study English alone, it is important to make a simple plan. Do not try to study everything at one time. If you try to learn too much, you may feel tired. You may feel confused. Then you may stop studying. So start small. For example, you can begin with just 20 or 30 minutes every day. You can spend 10 minutes listening. You can spend 10 minutes reading. Then you can spend 10 minutes speaking or writing. This is a simple plan, but it can help you a lot. You can also study for a shorter time if you are busy. Even 15 minutes is useful. The important thing is to be consistent. Try to do something every day. Some days you may have a lot of time. Some days you may have very little time. That is okay. Just keep English in your life. A good place to start is listening. Listening helps you become familiar with English. When you listen, you hear how words sound. You hear how sentences connect. You hear the rhythm of the language. Choose something easy at first. You can listen to a simple story or a short lesson. Do not choose something too difficult. If you understand nothing, you may become frustrated. Start with material for beginners. Listen to the same story more than once. The first time, just listen. Do not worry if you understand only a few words. The second time, try to understand the main idea. The third time, listen carefully to new words and sentences. Then you can repeat what you hear. This is a very good way to study alone. You do not need another person. You can listen to the same sentence and repeat it many times. You can pause the audio. You can speak slowly. You can try again. Now let us talk about speaking alone. Some people think it is strange to speak English when nobody is there. But speaking alone is one of the best ways to practice. You do not need to wait for a conversation partner. You can speak about simple things around you. Look at your room and say, "This is my room." There is a chair near the table. My phone is on the table. I am studying English. These are simple sentences, but they help you use English. You can also talk about your day. In the morning, you can say, "Today I will study English. I will listen to a story. I will learn some new words." At night, you can say, "Today I studied English. I learned new words. I listened to a story." At first, speaking alone may feel difficult. You may forget words. You may stop in the middle of a sentence. That is normal. Do not feel bad. You are practicing. When you practice every day, your mind becomes faster. Another helpful activity is reading aloud. Find a short and easy English text. First, read it silently. Try to understand the meaning. Then read it aloud. Speak slowly and clearly. You can read the same paragraph 2 or 3 times. When you read aloud, you practice several skills together. You see the words. You understand the words. You speak the words. You hear your own voice. This can help you become more comfortable with English. You can also use a mirror. Stand in front of a mirror and speak English. Talk about yourself. You can say, "My name is under.Leiduft. I am learning English. I want to become a better speaker. Today, I am practicing." Do not worry about being perfect. The goal is to use your mouth and voice. Many learners know English words, but they do not speak them. Their minds know the language, but their mouths need more practice. So open your mouth and speak. Writing is another great way to study alone. You only need a notebook and a pen. Every day, write a few sentences in English. Write about your day. Write about your family. Write about your dreams. Write about something you learned. You do not need to write a long story. Start with 5 sentences. For example, today, I woke up early. I had breakfast. Then I studied English. I listened to a short story. I learned 3 new words. This is simple, but it is good practice. Keep your writing in one notebook. After a few weeks, go back and read your old writing. You may see many mistakes, but that is okay. You may also see something beautiful. You may see your progress. You may notice that your sentences are becoming better. This can give you motivation. Progress is not always easy to see every day, but when you look back, you can see how far you have come. When you study alone, your phone can also become a useful tool. Many people use their phones only for entertainment. They spend many hours watching short videos and scrolling without learning anything. But you can use your phone to help your English. You can listen to English stories. You can read simple English texts. You can watch short lessons. You can save new words. You can record your voice. Your phone can become like a small English classroom in your hand. You can also change some things on your phone into English. At first, it may feel difficult. You may not understand every word. But slowly, you will learn new words from your daily life. Another important thing is to repeat. When you learn something new, do not learn it one time and forget it. Review it again. If you learn 5 new words today, look at them tomorrow. Use them in sentences. Speak them. Write them. Repetition helps you remember. The more you meet a word, the more familiar it becomes. For example, if you learn the word practice, do not only write it once. Say, I practice English every day. Write, practice helps me improve. Think, I need more practice. Use the word again and again. Slowly, it becomes part of your English. It is also important to be patient with yourself. When you study alone, there may be difficult days. Sometimes you may not understand a lesson. Sometimes you may forget a word you learned yesterday. Sometimes you may feel that you are not improving. But remember this: learning a language takes time. You are building something slowly. Every new word is useful. Every sentence you understand is progress. Every time you speak English, you are practicing. Do not compare yourself to other learners. Maybe someone can speak English better than you. That is okay. Maybe they started earlier. Maybe they have more time to practice. Your journey is your own. Focus on your progress. Yesterday, perhaps you knew 10 words. Today, you know 11. That is progress. Last month, perhaps you could not understand a simple story. Today, you understand part of it. That is progress. You can learn English alone, but you need to become your own teacher. Ask yourself questions. What did I learn today? What was difficult? What should I review? What do I want to learn tomorrow? You can also set small goals. Do not only say, I want to speak English fluently. That is a big goal. Make smaller goals. This week, learn 20 new words. This month, finish 1 easy English book. Today, speak English for 5 minutes. Small goals are easier to follow. When you reach them, you feel proud. Then you can set a new goal. Finally, remember that studying English alone can be a beautiful journey. You may start with simple words. Then you learn simple sentences. Later, you understand stories. Then you can express your thoughts. One day, you may look back and remember how difficult English once felt. So do not be afraid of studying alone. Start with what you have. Listen every day. Read every day. Speak to yourself. Write in a notebook. Repeat what you learn. Review your progress. Be patient and keep going. You do not need to study for many hours every day. You only need to begin and continue. Even a small step is better than no step. Remember Ali. He did not have a teacher. He did not have English-speaking friends. But he decided to start. Little by little, his English became better. You can do the same. Your journey can begin today. Study alone, but never think that you are powerless. You have your mind, your voice, your time, and your desire to learn. Use them every day. And always remember, you do not become good at English in one day. You become better one day at a time. Chapter 2. Build a daily English study routine. How can you study English alone every day without giving up? The answer is simple. You need a daily routine. A routine helps you know what to do. When you have no plan, you may waste time. You may open your phone and search for English lessons. Then, you may watch many different videos without finishing anything. You may learn new words today and grammar tomorrow, but after a few days, you may feel confused. This is why a simple routine is helpful. Your English study routine does not need to be difficult. In fact, it is better when it is simple. You do not need to study for 5 hours every day. You do not need to learn 100 new words in 1 week. Start with a small amount of time. Start with 30 minutes a day if you can. If you are very busy, even 15 or 20 minutes can be useful. Let me tell you a story. There was a young woman named Sarah. Sarah wanted to improve her English, but she always had the same problem. She studied for a few days, and then she stopped. One day, she studied for 2 hours. The next day, she was tired and studied nothing. After a week, she forgot about English completely. Sarah thought she needed more motivation. But the real problem was not motivation. The problem was that she did not have a simple routine. So she decided to change her way of studying. She made a small plan. Every morning, she listened to English for 10 minutes. In the afternoon, she learned 5 new words. At night, she read a short paragraph and spoke English for 5 minutes. Her plan was simple. It was not difficult. But she followed it every day. After 2 weeks, she noticed something. Studying English was becoming a normal part of her life. She did not need to ask herself, "Should I study today?" She already knew the answer. It was part of her daily routine. This is the power of consistency. When you study a little every day, English becomes part of your life. You do not need to wait for a free day. You do not need to wait until you feel motivated. You simply do your small practice. A good routine can begin with listening. Spend 5 or 10 minutes listening to easy English. Choose a short story or a lesson that you can understand. Do not worry if you do not understand every word. Listen for the main idea. Then listen again. The second time, try to notice some words that you understand. You may hear words that you learned before. You may understand one new sentence. This is good. Slowly, your listening will become better. After listening, you can spend some time reading. Find the text of the story or choose a simple paragraph. Read slowly. Try to understand the meaning. If there are too many difficult words, choose some easier. Many learners make a mistake. They choose difficult English because they think, Difficult material will help them improve faster. But if you understand nothing, you may become tired and discouraged. Easy English is not a bad thing. Simple English helps you build a strong foundation. After reading, learn a few new words. Do not try to learn too many words at one time. 5 words can be enough. Choose useful words that you can use in your daily life. For example, you can learn the words decide, practice, improve, repeat, and remember. Do not only write the meanings, make sentences with them. Say, I decided to study English every day. Say, I practice English alone. Say, I want to improve my speaking. Say, I repeat new sentences. Say, I remember words by using them. When you use a new word, it becomes more real. You begin to understand how it works. You begin to understand how. This is much better than looking at a long list of words without using them. Speaking should also be part of your daily routine. Many people who study alone do not speak enough. They listen and read, but they are afraid to open their mouths. Do not wait for another person before you begin speaking. You can speak alone every day. Start with 5 minutes. Talk about what you are doing. Say, I am sitting in my room. I am studying English. Today, I learned 5 new words. I feel happy because I am practicing. You can also talk about your day. You can say, I woke up at 7 o'clock. I had breakfast. Then I went to work. In the evening, I came home and studied English. These sentences may seem simple, but simple sentences are the beginning of speaking. You do not need difficult words to practice. You need to use the words you already know. Another helpful part of your routine is writing. At the end of the day, write a small English journal. Write 5 or 10 sentences. Write about your day, your feelings, or what you learned. You can write, today was a good day. I studied English for 20 minutes. I listened to a short story. I learned some new words. I spoke English alone. I want to continue tomorrow. This kind of writing is simple, but it helps you remember what you are learning. It also helps you become comfortable with making sentences. One of the most important parts of your routine is review. Do not only learn new things, go back and review old things too. If you learned 5 words yesterday, look at them again today. If you listened to a story last week, listen to it again. You may be surprised. When you return to old lessons, you may understand more than before. A story that was difficult last week may feel easy today. This is a sign of progress. You can also make one day a review day. For example, after studying for 6 days, use the 7th day to review. Look at your notebook. Read your old sentences. Listen to old lessons. Speak old vocabulary. Your routine should also have a time for rest. You do not need to push yourself too hard. Learning English is not a race. Some days you may feel tired. On those days, do a small activity. Listen to one short story. Read 1 page. Speak for 2 minutes. A small practice is still better than stopping completely. It is also helpful to study at the same time every day. Maybe you study English after breakfast. Maybe you study during your lunch break. Maybe you study before going to bed. Choose a time that works for your life. When you study at the same time every day, your mind begins to expect it. After some time, the habit becomes easier. English study becomes like brushing your teeth. You do not think too much about it. You simply do it. Try to keep your English study materials in one place. Have one notebook for vocabulary and sentences. Save your favorite English lessons. Keep a simple list of what you want to study. Being organized can help you study better. Remember, you do not need a perfect routine. Your routine can change. Some days you may have 30 minutes. Some days you may have only 10 minutes. That is okay. The important thing is to continue. So build your daily English routine today. Listen a little. Read a little. Learn a few words. Speak alone. Write something simple. Review what you learned. Do these small things again and again. Sarah did not become a better English learner because she studied for many hours one day. She improved because she kept studying. Her small daily actions became a strong habit. You can do the same. Start small. Be patient. Do not worry about perfection. Your routine does not need to be perfect. It only needs to be repeated. Every day you study, you are moving forward. Every word you learn is useful. Every sentence you speak makes you stronger. Every story you understand is a step toward your goal. So do not wait for tomorrow. Create your simple routine. Begin today. Study alone, stay consistent, and trust the process. Little by little, your English will grow, and one day, you will be proud of how far you have come. Chapter 3. Learn English by listening and repeating. We will talk about listening and repeating. Listening is very important when you study English. Before you can speak English well, you need to hear English many times. You need to hear how people say words. You need to hear how sentences sound. You need to hear the language again and again. Think about how children learn their first language. Before they can speak, they listen. They listen to their parents. They listen to people around them. They hear the same words many times. Slowly, the words become familiar. Then, little by little, they begin to speak. You can use the same idea when you study English alone. You can listen to English every day. You can listen to stories, simple conversations, short lessons, or easy videos. You do not need to understand everything. The most important thing is to listen regularly. Let me tell you a story. There was a young man named Hamza. He wanted to speak English, but he had a problem. He knew many English words. He could read simple English. He could even write some sentences, but when people spoke English, he could not understand them easily. Hamza felt confused. He thought, I know these words. Why can I not understand them when people speak? One day, he found a short English story. The story was simple and slow. He listened to it for 5 minutes. The first time, he understood only a few words. He heard words like morning, school, friend, and happy. But he did not understand the full story. He did not give up. The next day, he listened to the same story again. This time, he understood a little more. Then he listened to it again. After listening several times, he began to understand many sentences. Hamza learned something important. The first time you listen, you may not understand much. But you can listen again. Every time you listen, your ears learn something new. This is why repetition is so important. Do not always look for new lessons. New lessons are good, but repeating old lessons is also very powerful. When you listen to the same English many times, the words become more familiar. You can start with very short audio. Do not choose something that is too long. A story of 1 or 2 minutes can be enough. First, listen to the whole story without stopping. Do not worry about every word. Just listen, then listen again. This time, try to understand the main idea. Ask yourself simple questions. Who is speaking? What is happening? Where is the person? What is the story about? After that, listen one more time. Now you can pay attention to the sentences. You can stop after a short sentence. Listen carefully and try to understand it. Then comes another important step. Repeat what you hear. When you repeat, you are not only practicing listening, you are also practicing speaking. You are using your ears and your mouth together. For example, you may hear, I study English every day. First, listen carefully. Then repeat, I study English every day. Listen again. Repeat again. You can say the sentence slowly at first. Then you can try to say it more naturally. Do not worry if your pronunciation is not perfect. The goal is to practice. You can repeat one sentence 5 times. You can repeat it 10 times. The more you repeat, the easier it becomes. Let us try another example. Imagine you hear, she goes to work in the morning. Listen to the sentence. Then say it aloud. She goes to work in the morning. Say it stack haar work. In again. She goes to work in the morning. Now change it a little. Make your own sentence. You can say, go to work in the morning. Or, my brother goes to work in the morning. This is a great way to study alone. You listen to a sentence. You repeat it, then you use the sentence in your own way. You can also repeat whole paragraphs. First, listen to a short paragraph. Then listen to one sentence. Pause the audio. Continue with the next sentence. This practice may feel difficult at first. Your mouth may move slowly. You may stop between words. But this is normal. You are training yourself. Your mouth needs practice just like your mind. You may understand a sentence in your head, but speaking, it is a different skill. You need to use your voice. Do not be afraid of your own voice. Many people feel shy when they speak English alone. They think their pronunciation is bad. They think they sound strange. But you cannot improve your speaking if you never speak. So close the door if you want privacy. Stand in your room. Put on your headphones. Listen to a short sentence and repeat it. Nobody needs to judge you. This is your practice time. You can also record yourself. This is very helpful when you study alone. Read a short paragraph or repeat a few sentences. Record your voice. Then listen to the recording. At first, hearing your own voice may feel strange, but after some time, you will become comfortable. You may notice words that are difficult for you. You may hear where you need more practice. Then listen to the original English again. After that, repeat the sentence and record yourself again. You may notice a small improvement. Do not expect a big change in one day. Small improvements are enough. Maybe today you say one word better than yesterday. Maybe you understand one more sentence. That is progress. Listening can also help you learn vocabulary. When you hear a word inside a sentence, you understand how it is used. For example, you may learn the word tired, but it is even better when you hear someone say, I am tired because I worked all day. Now you understand the word in a real sentence. You can repeat the sentence. You can repeat the sentence. Then you can use the word in your own sentence. You can say, I am tired after studying. This is how listening, repeating, speaking, and vocabulary can work together. When you listen to English, try to choose things that you enjoy. If you like stories, listen to stories. If you like travel, listen to simple conversations about travel. If you like daily life, listen to people talking about daily activities. When you enjoy the material, it is easier to continue. Studying English should not always feel difficult. You can learn and enjoy yourself at the same time. It is also good to listen to the same type of English that you want to speak. If you want to speak simple daily English, listen to simple daily conversations. For example, listen to sentences like, How are you today? I am fine, thank you. What are you doing? I am studying English. Repeat these sentences until they feel easy. Then use them in your own speaking practice. You can make a small listening routine. In the morning, listen to English for 10 minutes. During the day, listen again when you have free time. In the evening, repeat 5 or 10 sentences. You do not need to listen for many hours. Regular practice is more important. 10 minutes every day can become a powerful habit. Remember Hamza. At first, he could not understand the short English story. He knew some words, but he could not understand the full sentences. But he listened again and again. After some time, the story became easy. He could understand it. Then he began repeating the sentences. Slowly, his listening and speaking became better. This can happen to you too. Do not give up when English sounds too fast. Start with easy English. Listen slowly. Repeat small sentences. Listen again. Some people say, I do not understand English, so I cannot listen. But listening is one way to begin understanding. You do not need to wait until your English is perfect. Start now. If you understand only 5 words, that is okay. Listen again tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow you will understand 10 words. Keep going. Also, do not try to copy every sound perfectly in the beginning. Just listen carefully and do your best. With more practice, your pronunciation will improve naturally. The important thing is to repeat with attention. Do not say the words without thinking. Listen first. Notice the sounds. Then repeat. Listen, pause, repeat. Listen, pause, repeat. Make this simple practice part of your daily English routine. You can do it at home. You can do it with your phone. You can do it when you are alone. English does not need to be a language that only lives in books. Bring it into your ears and your voice. Hear English. Repeat English. Speak English. Every time you listen, you are training your ears. Every time you repeat, you are training your mouth. Every time you do both together, you become more comfortable with the language. So do not worry about studying alone. You can still listen, you can still repeat, you can still improve. Start with one short story today. Listen to it carefully. Listen again tomorrow. Repeat a few sentences. Then do it again the next day. Small practice can create a big change. One sentence can become 10 sentences. 10 sentences can become a short conversation. A short conversation can help you become a confident English speaker. Keep listening. Keep repeating. Keep speaking. Your English journey is moving forward, one sound and one sentence at a time. Chapter 4. Learn English by reading and writing, every day. We will talk about reading and writing. Many English learners enjoy listening and speaking, but they forget about reading and writing. They think reading is boring. They think writing is difficult. But when you study English alone, these two skills can help you a lot. You do not need another person to read. You do not need another person to write. You can practice both skills anywhere and at any time. Reading helps. You see English. When you read, you learn new words. You see how sentences are made. You learn how people express ideas. You also begin to understand grammar in a natural way. Writing helps you use the English that you learn. You take words from your mind and put them into sentences. The more you read and write, the more comfortable English becomes. Let me tell you a story. There was a young woman named Amina. She wanted to learn English, but she had a problem. She knew many words, but she could not make good sentences. When she tried to write, she felt confused. She would look at a blank page and think, "What should I write?" One day, Amina decided to start reading simple English stories. She did not choose difficult books. She chose short stories with easy words. Every evening, she read 1 or 2 pages. At first, she needed to stop many times. She did not understand every word. But she continued. One day, she read a sentence that said, "The little boy walked slowly to school because he was tired." She liked the sentence. She understood most of it, and she noticed how the sentence was made. Then Amina wrote her own sentence. She wrote, "The little girl walked slowly home because she was tired." The next day, she tried again. She read another sentence and used it as an example. Slowly, she began to understand how English sentences worked. After a few weeks, Amina started writing a small journal. At first, she wrote only 3 sentences. Then she wrote 5 sentences. Later, she could write a full paragraph. Amina learned something important. She did not need to begin with difficult writing. She only needed to read simple English and write simple English every day. This is what you can do too. When you study English alone, start reading easy material. You can read simple stories, short dialogues, beginner articles, or English lessons. Choose something that is not too difficult for you. Do not think that easy English is a waste of time. Easy English helps you build confidence. When you understand a story, you feel good. You want to read more. Then, little by little, you can choose more difficult material. Try to read every day. You do not need to read for 1 hour. Even 10 or 15 minutes is helpful. Find a quiet place and read slowly. When you see a new word, do not stop every time. First, try to understand the word from the sentence. Sometimes you can guess the meaning. For example, imagine you read, "The weather was very cold, so Ali wore a warm jacket." Even if you do not know the word jacket, you can understand that it is something you wear when it is cold. This is a useful skill. You do not always need to use a dictionary immediately. Try to understand the idea first. Then, if the word is important, you can look it up later. But do not try to remember every new word you see. Choose only a few useful words. If you find 10 new words in one paragraph, do not feel that you must learn all 10 words. Choose 2 or 3 words that you like or that are useful. Write them in your notebook. Write the word, its meaning, and one simple sentence. For example, you may learn the word careful. Then write, "I am careful when I learn something new." Or you may learn the word progress. Then write, "I can see my progress when I study every day." Making your own sentences is very important. It helps you remember the words better. Another good way to improve your reading is to read the same text more than once. The first time, read for the main idea. Do not worry about every word. The second time, read more carefully. Notice new words and useful sentences. The third time, read aloud. Reading aloud can help you connect reading with speaking. Your eyes see the words, your mouth speaks them, and your ears hear your voice. This can help you remember the language better. You can also choose one paragraph and read it aloud several times. The first time, read slowly. The second time, try to speak more smoothly. The third time, focus on the words that are difficult for you. Do not worry if your pronunciation is not perfect. You are practicing. The important thing is to keep going. Now, let us talk about writing. Writing can feel difficult because you have to create your own sentences. But you can start with something very simple. Every day, write about your life. You can write about what you did. You can write about what you want to do tomorrow. You can write about your family. You can write about your dreams. You can write about your English journey. For example, you can write, "Today, I studied English for 20 minutes. I read a short story. I learned 3 new words. I also practiced speaking. I feel happy because I am improving." This is simple English, but it is your English. You are using words to express your own ideas. Do not wait until you know a lot of English before you begin writing. Start now. Write with the words you know. If you only know simple sentences, write simple sentences. Later, you can make longer sentences. Learning happens step by step. You can also keep a daily journal. Get one notebook only for English. Every night, write 5 sentences about your day. You can answer simple questions. What did I do today? How did I feel? What did I learn? What was easy? What was difficult? What will I do tomorrow? These questions can help you find something to write about. For example, you can write, "Today was a busy day. I worked in the morning. In the afternoon, I had some free time. I listened to an English story. The story was a little difficult, but I understood the main idea. Tomorrow, I want to listen to it again. When you write every day, your sentences will slowly become better. Another helpful exercise is to copy good English sentences. Find a short paragraph that you like. Read it carefully. Then write it by hand. After that, close the book or text and try to write some sentences from memory. You do not need to remember every word. This exercise can help you notice how English sentences are formed. For example, the original sentence may be, John went to the market in the morning. You can change it to, I went to the market in the morning. Then change it again. My mother went to the market in the afternoon. This is a simple but useful exercise. You are learning sentence patterns and using them in your own way. When you study alone, do not be afraid to make mistakes in your writing. Mistakes are part of learning. You may use the wrong word. You may forget a grammar rule. That is okay. Write first. Learn later. Sometimes learners stop writing because they want every sentence to be perfect. They think too much. They write one sentence, erase it, write it again, and then become tired. Do not do this. Give yourself permission to make mistakes. Write your ideas. You can check and improve them later. You can also review your old writing after a few days. You may notice mistakes that you did not see before. You may also notice good sentences. This helps you learn from your own work. Another important thing is to enjoy what you read. Do not choose a text only because someone says it is important. Choose stories and topics that interest you. If you like travel, read about travel. If you like animals, read stories about animals. If you enjoy daily life, stories, read them. When the topic interests you, reading feels easier and more enjoyable. You can make reading and writing part of your daily routine. In the morning, read one short paragraph. During the day, write down 3 useful sentences. At night, write 5 sentences in your journal. This is not a difficult plan, but if you do it every day, you will see progress. Remember Amina. At first, she looked at a blank page and did not know what to write. But she started with simple reading. She read easy sentences. Then she made her own sentences. She wrote 3 sentences every day. After some time, the blank page no longer scared her. She had ideas. She had words. She had confidence. You can have the same experience. Start small. Read simple English. Choose a few useful words. Read aloud. Write about your life. Keep a journal. Make mistakes. Learn from them. Reading gives you ideas. Writing gives you practice. Together, they can help you study English alone. So pick up a simple English story today. Read one page. Find one useful sentence. Write your own version of that sentence. Then write 5 sentences about your day. Do this again tomorrow, and then do it again the next day. Do not worry about becoming perfect. Focus on becoming better. One page can lead to another page. One sentence can lead to a paragraph. One paragraph can lead to a story. Your English is growing every time you read and write. Keep reading. Keep writing. Keep learning. Even when you are alone, You are not standing still. You are moving forward, one word, one sentence, and one page at a time. Chapter 5. Believe in yourself and never stop learning. We will talk about believing in yourself and continuing your English journey. When you study English alone, there may be days when you feel happy and excited. You may learn a new word. You may understand a story. You may speak a sentence without stopping. On those days, you may feel proud of yourself. But there may also be difficult days. Some days, English may feel too hard. You may forget words. You may listen to a story and understand very little. You may try to speak, but no words come out. You may look at other English learners and think, they are better than me. Maybe I cannot do this. When these thoughts come, remember one important thing. Every English learner has difficult days. Nobody learns everything quickly. Nobody becomes fluent without making mistakes. The people who improve are not always the smartest people. Very often, they are simply the people who continue. Let me tell you a story. There was a young man named Omar. Omar studied English alone every day. He listened to stories. He read simple books. He wrote in his notebook. He practiced speaking to himself. For the first few weeks, Omar felt happy. He could see progress. He learned many new words, but after some time, he began to feel disappointed. One day, Omar listened to an English conversation. The people were speaking quickly. He could not understand much. He became frustrated. He said, I have studied for so long, but I still cannot understand everything. The next day, he tried to speak English. He forgot simple words. Again. He felt disappointed. Omar thought about giving up. He thought that maybe studying alone was not enough. Maybe he was not good at languages. Maybe English was simply too difficult for him. But then Omar opened his old English notebook. He read the first sentences that he had written months before. They were very simple. He had made many mistakes. His sentences were short. Some of his words were wrong. Then he looked at the sentences he was writing. Now, he was surprised. His new sentences were longer. He knew more words. He could express more ideas. His English was not perfect, but he was much better than before. Omar smiled. He understood something important. Progress is sometimes difficult to see when you look only at today. But when you look back, you can see how much you have changed. This is why you should keep your old notebooks. Keep your old writing. Keep some of your recordings. Keep a list of the books and stories you read. One day, you can look back and see your journey. You may listen to an old recording and hear how much your pronunciation has improved. You may read an old paragraph and see that you can now write better. Your progress may be slow, but slow progress is still progress. Do not compare your journey with another person's journey. Everyone learns differently. Some people have more time. Some people study with teachers. Some people live in places where English is spoken every day. Some people started learning when they were young. Your situation may be different. Your situation may be different. But your progress is still important. You do not need to become the best English learner in the world. You only need to become better than you were before. Yesterday, Perhaps you did not know how to say something. Today, you can say it. Yesterday, a story was difficult. Today, you understand more of it. Yesterday, you were afraid to speak. Today, you can speak for 1 minute alone. These small changes matter. When you study English alone, it is important to celebrate small successes. Do not wait until you become fluent before you feel proud. Be proud when you learn a new word. Be proud when you finish an English story. Be proud when you understand a new sentence. Small success gives you energy to continue. You can also make a list of your achievements. But at the end of each week, write down what you did. You can write, "This week I learned 10 new words. I finished 3 short stories. I practiced speaking for 15 minutes. I wrote 5 journal entries." When you feel tired or discouraged, read your list. It will remind you that you are moving forward. Another important thing is to make English part of your life. Do not think of English only as a subject that you study at a desk. Try to bring English into your daily activities. When you wake up, think about your plans in English. When you look around your room, name the things you see in English. When you cook, think about the words for food and actions. When you walk outside, describe what you see. You can say, "The sky is cloudy today." You can say, "I can see many people on the street." You can say, "I need to go home now." These small moments are practice. You can also talk to yourself in English during your daily life. You do not need to speak loudly. You can speak quietly or in your mind. Ask yourself simple questions. What am I doing now? Then answer, "I am making tea." Ask, "What will I do later?" Then answer, "I will study English for 20 minutes. This helps you become comfortable with thinking in English. Another good habit is to learn from your mistakes. When you make a mistake, do not feel ashamed. Look at it carefully. Ask yourself, what was wrong? What is the correct way? Then try again. For example, maybe you say, "Yesterday I go to the market." Then you learn that you should say, "Yesterday I went to the market." That mistake has now taught you something. Åkt karshed. The next time, you may remember the correct form. This is how learning works. Mistakes are not walls that stop you. They are steps that help you move forward. When you study alone, you also need to protect yourself from doing too much. Some learners feel excited and study for many hours in one day. They try to learn 50 words. They watch many lessons. They read difficult books. Then they become tired. After a few days, they stop. A better way is to study at a comfortable speed. Learn a few words. Read a little. Listen a little. Speak a little. Then return tomorrow. Remember, English is not a race. You do not need to arrive before anyone else. You need to continue. Consistency is more powerful than studying too much for a short time. 10 minutes every day can be better than 3 hours one time. And then nothing for a week. So create a learning habit that you can continue for a long time. If you are busy, study for 10 minutes. If you have more time, study for 30 minutes. But try not to leave English completely. Even on a difficult day, do something small. Listen to one short sentence. Read one paragraph. Learn one word. Speak for 1 minute. Write one sentence. A small action can keep your habit alive. Another important part of studying alone is staying curious. When you hear a new word, become interested. Ask, what does this mean? When you hear an interesting sentence, write it down. When you find a story you enjoy, learn more from it. Curiosity makes learning more exciting. Do not study only because you feel that you must study. Study because English can open new doors for you. You can understand stories, videos, books, and people. You can share your ideas with more people. You can learn new things. Every new word is a small key. Every new sentence can open a new door. So enjoy discovering English. You should also remember to have fun. Learning English does not need to be serious all the time. Watch a funny video, listen to a song, read an interesting story. Learn something about a topic that you love. When you enjoy English, you want to spend more time with it. Your English journey should become part of your life, not something you always fear. Remember Omar. He felt that he was not improving because he could not understand one difficult conversation. But when he looked back at his old work, he saw his progress. You should do the same. When you feel that you are not improving, look back. Remember the words you did not know before. Remember the sentences you could not understand before. Remember the time when speaking English felt impossible. Then look at yourself today. You are still learning. You are still trying. You are still moving forward. Something to be proud of. You can study English alone, but you do not need to feel lonely on your journey. There are books, stories, videos, audio lessons, and many opportunities to hear and use English. Most importantly, you have yourself. You are your own student, but you can also become your own teacher. Teach yourself with patience. Encourage yourself. Correct yourself. Celebrate yourself. And when you make a mistake, do not speak to yourself with anger. Say, that is okay. I am learning. I will try again. The most important thing is to keep going. One day, you may wake up and notice that you can understand more English. You may read a sentence without translating it. You may speak for several minutes without feeling afraid. You may understand a video that once seemed too difficult. These changes may come slowly, but they can come. Trust your daily practice. Trust small steps. Trust the learning process. You began this journey with one simple decision. You decided to learn English. Now continue that decision every day. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to begin. And after beginning, you need to continue. Study alone with confidence. Listen carefully. Repeat sentences. Read every day. Write about your life. Speak to yourself. Review what you learn. Learn from your mistakes. Celebrate your progress. Your English will grow. Maybe slowly, but it will grow. Never forget that every fluent speaker was once a beginner. Every person who can speak English had to learn words, make mistakes, and practice again and again. You are also on that journey. So believe in yourself. Believe that you can learn. believe that small practice can create big changes. And never stop moving forward. If this lesson helped you, please like this video, share it with another English learner, and subscribe for more simple English lessons. And tell me in the comments, how do you study English alone? Your small idea or story may inspire someone else to begin today. Remember, you do not need to learn everything at once. Start with one word, one sentence, and one small step. Practice every day, believe in yourself, and keep going. Your English journey is not over. It is only beginning.